Hi there makers, Elena here and welcome back to the channel. In this tutorial I'm going to be walking you guys through how to make this very easy crochet baby hat. I've been making a lot of baby stuff right now. I'm currently working on a baby cardigan, so I thought I might as well just make a tutorial for you. So as you can see, you can make this without the ears, it's absolutely fine, or you can bring in the ears. I think it's really cute with the ears. In this tutorial, I will be making a 0 to 3 months. There is a pattern available from 0 up to 12 months, so be sure to grab that for free in the description box below. If you'd like the PDF version, it's available for $2 and under on Etsy and on Ribbler. If you haven't already, please subscribe and smash that like button, and don't forget to ring that notification bell. So without further ado, let's get into the tutorial. To make this baby hat, we'll be using a 5mm crochet hook and a DK weight yarn. So you're going to begin by making a magic ring. This is how I make mine. I just like to hold 3 fingers like so, and then wrap that yarn around just like that. Bring the hook underneath, loop that yarn, and you just want to chain 1 just like that. And you want to make sure that the ring is big enough for you to comfortably work with. Personally, I like to stick 3 of my fingers in there, so I always make sure that the loop is big enough. But you can always make your magic ring as big as you're comfortable. So into that magic ring, we're gonna go in placing 13 single crochets. So that was 2 for me. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13, just like that. So I'm going to tighten this a bit and cross check that I do have 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. This is the 13th one right there. So I'm just gonna tighten that loop just like that and slip stitch into that very first single crochet I made. This one right here. So chain 2, and to begin round 2, into that very same stitch that we slip stitched into, that first single crochet, we're gonna go in there placing 2 double crochets. So the chain 2 does not count as a double crochet. So we're gonna go back in there and place 1 double crochet and another double crochet. And we're gonna do this for every other stitch. For every single stitch going all the way around, placing 2 double crochets. So at the end of row 2, we should have 26 double crochets. So I'm going to do the rest of them off camera. Just pause the video and place your 26 double crochets, and I will meet you at the end of the row. So here we are. I've reached the end of the row. I've got 26 double crochets, and I just double checked. So to finish off the row, you want to find the top of that chain 2, first chain 2 that we made, and you want to slip stitch to join the row. So row 3, chain 2 as usual. Remember, chain 2 does not count as a stitch. So into that same stitch, you want to go in with a double crochet, and then into the next stitch you want to go in there with 2 double crochets, and then 1 double crochet followed by 2 double crochets, and then 1 double crochet followed by 2 double crochets in the same stitch. And this is how we're going to work row 3. So you go ahead, continue row 3 doing as I'm doing all the way around, and I will meet you at the end of the row so that we can get started on the rest of our baby hat. So So at the end of row 3, this is what we should be looking like. Just as we did in row 2, you want to slip stitch to the top of that stitch and chain 2. So from here on into the rest of the hat, we're going to be working front post and back post double crochets. So the chain 2s, we are not going to touch them. We're going to go down into that very first stitch that we made and place a front post double crochet. And then next, we're going to go behind that double crochet stitch and place a back post double crochet. And then back to a front post double crochet and a front post double crochet, front post and back post. So just like that, you want to do this all the way around. And when you get to the beginning, remember you will not be working into this chain 2 stitch because this does not count as a stitch. So I'm going to work the rest off camera and I will meet you as I am going towards the end of the row so that I can show you how we finish off round 4. So I am going towards the end of the row and I've got 3 stitches left. So towards the end, it's gonna look like 2 stitches, but then this one right here is always gonna be your guide because it's gonna be just right on top of that previous chain 2 chain. So make sure you use that top chain 2 as your guide, or if it keeps confusing you, just place a stitch marker into there so that you know not to work into that 4th stitch. So I'm just gonna go ahead and finish off the row just like that. We don't work into that, and then slip stitch at the top of the beginning chain or stitch and chain 2 to begin the 5th row. So for the 5th row, we're just going to continue with the front posts. All the front posts will remain front posts and all the back posts will remain back posts, just like so. And this is the 2nd row of the front post and back posts. So for the front posts and the back posts, you want to do a total of 12 rows. If you are making a 0 to 3 months, that is. For other sizes larger than that, please follow that free reading pattern to know how many rows you need to work. So I'm going to continue the rest of the rows off camera, but all we're doing is this, going around in circles. When you get to the end, remember not to work into that chain 2 space. Just slip stitch, chain 2, and continue with the front posts and the back posts. So I'm gonna come back to you after I'm done with the 12 rows so that we can now make the little cute ear flaps. So after 12 rows, this is what our crochet hat is looking like. So far, if I'm gonna bring my measuring tape, I have 5 inches long and just roughly 5 inches wide. So now we're just gonna chain 1 after we slip stitch into that first stitch that we made, and into that same stitch you want to go in with a single crochet and make 7 more single crochets to make it a total of 8 single crochets. So that was 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. Chain 1 and turn, and now we're going to be doing decreases. So just skip that first single crochet and go into the second. So second row is just going to have 7 single crochets. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Chain 1, turn, skip that first one and make 6 single crochets for row 3. 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Chain 1 and turn. This row we're just going to be making 5 single crochets. And 5. Chain 1 and turn. Make 4 single crochets. And skipping the first one, we're gonna make 3 single crochets. Chain 1, make 2 single crochets. If I'm going too fast, you can always pause the video. And finally make 1 single crochet. So this is what it should be looking like, that little flap. Following this, now we're going to be chaining 25 chains. That was 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Blocking off that last one, we're going to chain 1 more to turn, and then into the back bumps we're going to be placing single crochets. So into the back bumps of the chain, just go in there and place single crochets, and you're going to place single crochets going all the way to the top. So I'm just going to place back bump single crochets all the way up to the top of that flap, and then I'll meet you right back. So now at the end, you just want to slip stitch into that beginning or the top or the end of the decreasing of the ear flaps that we made, and chain 1. Grab your scissors. Let me just fetch my scissors. And then you're going to cut off that yarn and tighten that. Bring your yarn needle, enter it into the eye, and I'm just gonna weave it through the side of the single crochets, just as I'm doing. So this should be long enough, and then you just want to pull your needle through and pull that. If the strand is still showing, pull onto it, cut it off, and there you go. You won't be able to see it. So that's one side of the hat. To make the other side, I just like to lay my hat flat, just like that. So this is on that side, and then I like to eyeball this. That way I'm able to just locate where the other strap is going to start. So by the way, from looking at it as I'm looking at it, this is where the other side flap started. So if I'm going to have it on the other side, it should just start on this stitch right here. So you're just going to eyeball it and connect your yarn to this stitch right there. So bringing the yarn, I am just going to connect that yarn with a slip stitch or a chain like that. Holding on to this tail, I'm going to work over it. So into that same stitch I joined, I will place my first single crochet. Working over that tail, I will go ahead and place 7 more to make 8 single crochets. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Chain 1 and turn. And just as we did earlier, we'll be skipping that first one and decreasing. So we're going to have a total of 7 for this row. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Chain 1. Skip that one and have 6. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and into that last one, 6. Chain 1 and turn, and we should have 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Chain 1 and turn. 4. Chain 1 and turn. 3, chain 1 and turn. I should have 2, chain 1 and turn, and 1. So repeat, chain 26, back bump, single crochet, connect it here, chain 1 and weave it in, and then when I meet you again, we'll be making the bunny ears. So it's now time to make the little bunny ears or bear ears. So to do that, we're gonna have to start with another magic ring, just like so. Chain 2, and then into that magic ring, we're gonna go ahead and place 12 double crochets. So the chain 2 does not count as a stitch as usual. Place 12 double crochets. So far I've got 3. Let me meet you when I've got 12. So after you've got your 12, you just want to pull onto that loose end to close it. And we're going to be working over that tail in a minute. So slip stitch to that first stitch that you made and chain 1. Row 2, we're going to be working half double crochets. So insert your hook into that very same stitch as we joined, making sure that you're working over that tail, and place 1 half double crochet. Following that, we're going to place 2 half double crochets into that next stitch, still working over this tail. And then following that, we're going to place 1 half double crochet, and then back to 2. So we're going to repeat this, 1 half double crochet, 2 half double crochets, all the way around. I have reached the end and I have placed my 2. I still have a bit of that tail left, so I am just gonna cut what's left of it off. And there we go. So now just want to slip stitch into that first half double crochet we made. Chain 1, leaving a bit of a tail. I'm gonna fasten off. So you wanna make 2 of these. Pause the video and make yourself 2 bunny ears, and then you meet me right back so that we can connect them to the bunny, to the hat. So this is what our hat is looking like so far. And if you remember, we did 3 rows. 1, 2, the third row is where we started doing the front loops. Sorry, that was off camera. We did 1, 2, 3 rows of double crochets, but the third row is where we started doing our front post and back posts. So the bunny ears are going to be connected between the second and the third row, which is pretty much around here. If you want yours higher, do so. If you want them lower, do so. But I think they look really cute between the second and the third row. So just gonna connect my yarn needle to my bunny ear, and I'm gonna go ahead and find between the second and the third row and pull that yarn through just like that. And I'm gonna start with one side, sewing it close as tight as I can, and then I'm gonna go back over there, over the stitches that I just made, and close the other side too. So this is the back and this is the front. You want to make sure the side where the bunny is kind of folding in is facing the right side. So I'm just gonna go back in there to tighten this stitch. So I'm gonna insert my hook into that circle of the needle and close it, and then I'm gonna insert the hook into the hat, pull it in so I can pull the yarn and fast enough. And then I'm gonna do the very same thing for the other bunny ear. If you have a neater way of connecting your bunny ears, please let me know. I feel like it could get neater than what I'm doing, so please let me know. Making sure it's as tight as it can get and pull it through. So we should have a few straps in there. One should be from the magic ring, so you want to pull onto that as well, making sure it's as tight as it can be, and chop it off. And look at that, your little bunny bear ear crochet beanie is all done. Look at that, isn't that cute? So I'm gonna make another one so that it doesn't have the little bunny ears, in case you prefer that. But otherwise, what do you think about this? Please be sure to let us know what you think. And remember, this is for the 0 to 3 months old baby. If you're making for a larger size, be sure to follow that free written pattern. Or if you want to purchase one for $1.50 or $2, you can do so on our Etsy. On Etsy it's $2, but on Ribbler you can get it for just $1.50. Be sure to find those links down in the description box below. And if you love this tutorial and you know someone who would also enjoy it, be sure to share it. And don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe. Until next time, I will see you in the next tutorial.